Yeah, so welcome to today's session. Today we're going to take a deep dive into web development. Let me start. So as we all know, as what we usually say, for those who usually join the session and follow what we usually talk about. First thing first, every time you want to start something to code or a project or something like that, make sure first of all you create your repository from GitHub, and then after doing that, then clone it, and then now start your project in that. So that's what you're going to do. So we'll head over to GitHub first of all. So as usual, just type github.com. Let me just take this. Yes, is somebody saying something? So yeah, we are here. So as well said, to create a new repo, you just say new, give the repo name. So I'll say just intro. Just say web development. Just say web development. Yeah, so web development, that's okay. So it's a public, we want a public repo, so we have to choose the option of public. We don't want anything else. We just initialize our readme from our own Visual Studio Code. So create the repo. So like that. After creating the repo, just come copy this link. So copy that link, go to your terminal. So now this is my terminal here. So now after doing this, so I'll see, I usually like starting all my projects in my desktop. This one just is on a personal basis. If you don't want, you can just state it anywhere in your documents, in your downloads folder, anywhere you want. So personally, I want to navigate into my desktop directory, then I'll create my directory from there. So cd into desktop, just like that. So just give it a minute. So yeah, so if I list files right now, so I think you all know about these commands right now. So I'm in my desktop here, so everything you see here, it's in my desktop. So I'll first of all clone that repo I've cloned. So to clone it, we said it's just git clone and then paste. So it's saying cloning into web development, so just give it a minute. It usually just depends with your internet speed. If it's quick, it's going to clone quickly. If it's slow, it's going to take a while. So as you can see, it's saying cloning into web development. That's the repo you have created. So warning, you appear to have cloned an empty repository, which is really true because you have created an empty repo. If you come back to my repository here, the one we've created, you can see it's empty. So okay, before I continue, Stella, hello Stella.
Hello,
So I want you, are you connected to this session using your phone or laptop?
I'm using my phone.
Okay, I wanted to add you as a collaborator to this repo, so that we'll be pushing simultaneously. Yeah.
Mhm.
So anybody who is joining this session using their laptop, maybe anyone, anyone who is joining this session with their laptop, just tell me, and then I'll add you as a collaborator. So we'll do this. We'll do the pushing simultaneously, so that we can also get a hang of how to work, how to collaborate on projects using Git and GitHub. So anyone who's connected using his phone, using his laptop. Okay, let me see. Anyone? Or okay, I guess no one. So let us just continue. So now we're here. So we have cloned the empty repo. So now what we want to do is what? Now change directory into that empty repo. So to change directory, we use the cd command and then into web development. So let me just copy it. I don't want to type it. So now let me first of all clear everything. Let me zoom in a bit. Yeah, so I hope that's clear enough. So now if I list files, you can see it's empty. So now first of all, we want to create our directory. We want to create our readme. Okay, let me just open Visual Studio Code. Let me just open Visual Studio Code so that everything, we'll just do everything from there. So as we all know, to open Visual Studio Code, just use the command code and then space full stop. As easy as that. So it's here. Now let's see what you're going to do here. So just give it a minute. Yeah, so this is the repo. So remember what I told you the other time while we were searching the Linux command. A directory, a repo is also just a folder. So just because it's called a repository, that shouldn't make you think that's something different. It's just still the same thing. So we are now in that repo that we have created. So let us, in this case here, you can choose to create your own. You can create a repository, you can create another folder which is a directory, or you can just continue like that. So a lot of people will tell you make a directory also here. So first of all, I'll create my readme. Because this is the root of my repo, I first of all want to create a readme so that people will see it. So readme.md. So just like that. Also let me say that js. So make sure this is what you should be always be doing. So every time you're starting a project, make sure you always create a readme, make sure you always create a repo, and then in that repo clone it, and then create your readme, and then create your files. So the readme, this is just an optional thing to do. I usually just like writing it here because this is the root of my repo. So when I push, I want this is the first thing the users see when they come to this repository, and then now they can go to the other files. So welcome into this repository. But you can just see this repository, this repo, repository was created during a session on web development. Yeah, so you can just say that, and then now let me just say that, and then nb, let me just say nb. This is just an introduction. Yeah, so I think that's okay. So now let me create my folder. So I won't know a folder. So I'll show you. I'll push this before we do anything else, and then we'll see the reason was why I did this. So the repository here, let me just call it introduction. Yeah, and then press enter. Inside now that directory we've created, let me create a new file called index.html. Enter. Let me create another one called index.js. Enter, and then let me create another one, index.css. Then let me press enter. So as I told you, if you want these good looking icons here, so every time, so this one is HTML5, so that's why for those who join the morning session with the mentor, they'll know. So this one, if you give it the .html extension, this one here, you see it is HTML version 5. This one that I've given it a .js extension is just a JavaScript file. This one that I've given .css extension is just a CSS file. So CSS is usually used to style your website. HTML is usually used to just structure your website, and JavaScript is just usually used to give, you can say, yeah, so to add behavior to your website. I think that's the best way I can say it. So before I write anything, now in my index.html, let me just write the boilerplate. So I don't know why it's here. So every time you want this boilerplate, initially all you have to do, you can just type an exclamation mark and then press enter. In case that doesn't work, you can also do doc. You can just write doc and then press enter. In some other IDEs, you'll see them saying HTML and then press enter. So it depends with how you set up your development server, your VS Code. So in my case, both the apostrophe and also doc and HTML, all of them work. So I think if you downloaded live server, and in case you have Copilot also, I think you'll be getting this one easiest. So first of all, let me push this to GitHub so that you'll see the reason was why I put this readme here. So let this open, this terminal open here. So github, so git commit. So this is the the readme, file from the root of the repository on the root the repository. Yeah, so I think that's that, and then git push. So git push quickly. I want us just to use 1 hour for this because HTML is really easy, really easy. Maybe the only time we'll start doing this, it's only going to get harder, is when you start learning maybe about JavaScript, because JavaScript is the one that's usually hard a bit. So just a minute, let us refresh this. Just a minute. So this is why I did the readme from the initial part. So as you can see, every time you come to my repository here, because I created the readme inside the root of the folder, the root of the repository, it's the first thing you'll always see before now going inside the directory itself. So now this is the readme, and then now this is the directory we have created. So directory is a folder. I'll just be using directory because we're all here software engineers. So now when I come inside the directory, most of the times when you go to other repository, you'll see when you press that repo, that directory, inside these files, you'll also see another readme here. So we have not added another readme here, but then now we can also add another readme here, but now only for this directory only. Yeah, so let's see who was talking. So who wanted to say something? Okay, let me see. His keyboard is really getting it tonight. Okay, so anything here? Somebody wants to say something? Okay, I guess everybody is okay. So now this is it here. Hope everyone is okay there. So now we are here now. So now, first of all, before we do anything, even if this was already discussed, we still just have to do it. So now this first line here, okay, even if you don't use this first line, even if we say we don't want to use this first line here called Doctype HTML, it still works. It's still going to work. But then you're usually just told to use it because it usually just tells the browser the version of HTML we are using. In our case, it's HTML5. So don't forget about that. Now this one here, number 2. So this is just basically the HTML tag. So all our code, or HTML code, usually lives inside this HTML tag here. So now we are specifying that the language that this HTML which page of us should use should be English. So the one you should, if you go usually to another website, maybe you see it's written in Arabic, you can do all of that inside now this line 2 here. Yeah, so now in line 3, so before anything else, so also let me say something about that. So in tags, in elements like this HTML in line 2 here, you can see it has been closed in line 11. So now that's not a self-closing tag. So there are also self-closing elements or tags. Yeah, so a self-closing tag or element is that the one that, so let me yeah, a self-closing element is the one that doesn't require you to close it. So you can it usually just closes itself. Like the image tag, there's another one called break tag. So in case maybe you're wondering, oh, how will I know all of this? So there's really a good tutorial on W3 Schools where all of these tags are usually covered. So I don't want about Django. Let us just go there so that you can be able to see it. Personally, I already did it. So yeah, so just give it a minute. So I already have an account here. I don't know why it's doing this, but I don't have to log in at the moment. Let's see. Let me just go directly here. So you usually don't have to log in. People only log in so that they can save their, you can say what they have done. So personally, I've already done all of them. Okay, I don't think I'm done, but most of them I'm done. So you can also just come here. This one is a very good thing to start with. Another option you can go with is called Mozilla. Yeah, that one is for developers, so it's called, let me type it, Mozilla HTML. Let's say HTML. So this one is also another one. It's really good too. You can come here and look about it. You'll see all the HTML, how to use HTML tags, what are the importance of them, when to use them, things about that. So there's this one also. So the W3 schools, there's Mozilla. There's also another one called, it's called, I'm sure, what is it called? Why am I forgetting the name? If I don't mention name, it's really going to be bad. Free Code Camp, yeah, Free Code Camp. It's really Free Code Camp. Yeah, it's really good. I also did some web development here. There's also another one, but then Project Master. I think I've forgotten the name. I'll send it to the group once I remember about that. So this one is also another one. With Mozilla, it's really good because you learn by doing. So here you are given mini projects to create along the way. So at least when you're done, you'll have said, I did Free Code Camp and this is what I created. These other ones, they're just basics. Mozilla is really tough, so you can also do this. And then with this one, Free Code Camp here, you can continue to the next if you have not done the previous one, and it's free. Just in case you're wondering, it's free. You don't have to pay anything. If you go to a site and then you're told to pay, no, it's a scam. With Free Code Camp, it's usually free, and it's really good, really good, I tell you. So you can use those three. There's also another one, project something. I've forgotten about the name. I'll remind you guys. So now we're back here. So here, so we have said we have created the 3 files here. So every time you want to create a readme that will be seen when people come to that repository, always create that readme inside inside the root of your repository. If you create it inside now another directory, it won't be accessible inside here. It's only going to be accessible here inside. So in case we create another readme here, you'll see it here inside. So now let us continue. So we are here. So now the head tag, we have done about HTML tag. So now we are number 3, in which you're talking about the head tag. So the head tag is usually just used when we want to talk about links. Yeah. So the head tag is just usually useful for links. I'll just the easiest way I'll tell you. So you usually just put links inside the head tags, and you can also say about the mentor was saying information. So you're the one who will choose what to do. So like every time when you go to another website, so like this one github.com here, if you come to this URL here in this browser here, you see there's something like a logo here. So this logo was placed here inside this link here, inside this link tag here. So inside this head, sorry, and it was created using a link tag. So there are different types of here. So meta character set UTF. So you can also so this attribute declares the page character encoding. Yeah, the good thing with all of this is that some of them are usually just pre-populated. Once you press the exclamation mark and press enter, or HTML enter, doc enter, you'll get this boilerplate here. So also the viewport. The viewport is usually used so to define a name of piece of a document level metapiece. It should not be set if one of the attributes is also set. So I think on the meta tags, in case you want to know more of them, I think you should just head over to Mozilla and learn all about that. So now there's also this title here. So this title I'll just show you here. So now if you come to this browser here, in your favorite browser, I won't say which is your favorite browser. Everybody has a different browser. So now if you come here to your browser here, the browser you like using in this browser up here, in your title, you'll see like this one here is saying web development introduction to main, introduction at main.mytha1 web development blah blah blah. So you can just say this is the title here. So this title here is usually just created using this title tag here, this title attribute here, this title element here. So this one is just, so you can see this one just gives the structure of the website. So now and then the head, you should also close it. It's not a self-closing element, you should also close it. And then now comes the body. So every content you see, so all of this content you're seeing here from here, this all of these things. So you see here, this one at the body. So this body is usually created inside this body tag here, this body element. Or am I saying element tag? So inside this body element here. So everything you do it here inside, and then finally there's this HTML here. So I've told you this HTML is closing this HTML here. So in case you are coding and then you forget to put something here, so your browser is going to misbehave, or your web page is going to misbehave and show you something that you didn't expect, and then you'll be like, oh, my Visual Studio Code is broken. No, you're the one who missed the syntax. So that's that. So to run this, there are different ways to run this. You can start with the F5. So in case you want, yeah. So now with in case, personally I won't use this method here. I already have an extension called Live Server installed, so that's what I'm going to use to run my web page here. But then in case you don't have that and you don't have internet at the moment, so we're just assuming here, so in case you don't have internet and you want to code and see what you're coding, so you can also just press this H5, and when H5 comes, you'll be told select debugger. So you can just say web app, so you choose the debugger you want. So in my case, it's popping up Chrome here, because that's the one I said I set it up to use Chrome with these web pages here. So in case you're using Edge, you'll see Edge at the as the top one there. So you're the one who's going to choose there. But personally, I won't use that. I'm going to use Live Server. This one is just an extension. If you want it, just come here to these extensions here and then just type and then just search Live Server. So just say Live Server. Just type Live Server here. Live Server here. So you can see I've already downloaded it. So you're the one who's going to choose there. If you want to use Live Server, it's okay. If you don't want to use that, you can just be using F5. But then I think all of you should install Live Server, because it really makes our work easier. So now let me open Live Server. So it's starting. So to open it, you just come and press it. So if you press it, it's going to tell you opening Live Server. So at the moment, it's saying it's running at localhost port 5050. Yeah. So now if you come here at the moment, let me even refresh this. So if you come here at the moment, it's blank, because there's nothing in our web page. It's blank. So that's why you can see it's blank here. But then if you come in our title here, you can see it's written document. And if you come in our title here, you can also see it's written document. So let us let us remove that document and let us call it, let us just write software engineers in progress. Yeah. So now, so if you change that, you can see, if you come to your title here, you can see now it's software engineers in progress. So in case you're saying like, oh, why is it that it's automatically reflecting? That's because I have set up my Visual Studio Code to automatically save everything I do. So if you want to do that also, just press on the file here and then come here and press this autosave. So by default, I think it's usually disabled. So if you want to enable it, just come and press it and then it's going to be enabled. So to know it's enabled, you're supposed to see this tick here. So if you see that, it's enabled. So everything you do automatically is going to be pop up there. So now let us start now with the tags themselves. So the first thing we are going to do, as usual, we'll first of all see heading tags. So for header tags, there's usually 6 types of header tags. So there's heading 1. So with head trans also, as you can see, it's not a self-closing element. You have to open it and you have to close it. So to open an element, use this lesser than sign, the element name, and then greater than sign, contents, less than sign, and then to know that you've closed, this backslash should be here. So if this backslash is not here, this element is not closed. So now let us say heading 1. So if you do that, if you come here, you'll see heading 1. So now that's heading 1. So now we need, or let me just do this. I don't know if you guys will see this properly. I wanted us to do this so that you'll be able to see the changes in real time here. So yeah, so we need this one too. So let me ask someone here if it's okay with this. Let me see. Stella, I think Stella. So Stella, can you see my screen properly? Can you see this properly? Hey Stella,
What?
yeah, can you see my Visual Studio Code and my browser at the same time?
Yes.
Okay. So now we'll continue. So this is heading 1 here. So now let's go with heading 2. So we'll just do this a minute. Yeah, so just do this, and then now I think we can just create something small. So heading 5, and then finally heading 6. So as you can see, so headings in HTML, in web development or in HTML5, there are only just 6 types of headings, starting from heading 1, which is the largest, to heading 6, which is the smallest. So in case you're wondering to use a heading, or in, this is the only types of headings that are usually allowed. So now with headings, you can see all of them are not self-closing elements. You have to open and you have to close. So that's that. So with paragraph tags, there's also another tag called paragraph. So with a paragraph, it usually just looks like the normal paragraph you usually just see. So in case you want a dummy content with the paragraph tag, you can just say lorem and then press enter. If you do that, you just automatically VS Code is just usually just generates this fake text here. Usually I don't it's not in English. You just say lorem ipsum. I guess somebody maybe knows this. It's usually just you can just use it for testing purposes. In case you want to write a dummy content, I don't have what you write, so that's that. So there's let's us see one type of self-closing tag. Okay, let me just call it tag. So there's also one called horizontal. I think with this one just creates a line. So with those ones, you can see there's no opening and closing one, just one, just like that here. So that's how you don't have even to put this backlash here, and it's still going to work. So I just like putting that backlash here so that everybody can see that it has been opened, it has been closed. There's also called another one called break, which is just br. So you can just leave it like that without closing, but then I just like closing. So the break here just usually helps to separate this, you can see, paragraph tags, because with paragraph tags, no matter where you write them, they're usually just going to be on top of one another. So if now I write it here, so tab, if I write it here, you can see now where now the paragraph tag has been. So in case it was not like that, let me remove this, and then as you can see how where it is. So it's usually just near the other one there. So even if I put another one, it's still just going to be near this other paragraph tag. They usually just on top of one another. So if in case you want to place it in a different place, you can just use the break tag, or maybe some CSS styling. So also you can use some CSS styling. So there's also another one, an image tag. So there's also another one, an image tag. So with image, it has a source. It must have a source, and it must also have something like, maybe you can also say, okay, let us just try adding an image. So first of all, let me create another directory here called images. So and then inside now this images, I don't want to add it from here. Let me maximize this. So okay, there's different ways you can do this. You can say you can reveal in File Explorer in case you don't see it, but then personally I just know where it is, because I cloned my repository in my desktop. So I know if I come in my desktop here, I'm going to see it. So this is one of the benefits of putting your project in a place where you can see. So personally I know this is where my project is. So in case I want to add a picture there inside, let me just look at the picture. First of all, we'll create, let's see, just a dummy picture. We don't want something really good. I don't know if I have any picture here. So yeah, we can add this Django picture there. So to add that there, let me scroll down. Let me just yeah. So let me just close this, and then let me open this web development, and then come inside. This one here, Control C, and then go back, So now I want to add it here inside. So let me Control V. Yeah, so now it's like that. So now let me come back here. So now I want to add an image. Oh, I think there's a red somewhere. What have I missed? Okay. The PLMS represent a paragraph. Yeah, it's represent a paragraphs. Okay, let us just continue. I don't know why it's giving me a red. So this one red usually just says I think you have an error, but then I think this one is not an error because you can see here it's just okay. So I know all of us did already did HTML in the morning. So now let us continue learning together. So we want to just to create something small first of all, but then we want to know how to insert all these tags, how to link it with CSS, with JavaScript too. So now I need someone to help me with how I should insert this image here. So the image already is here. You can see it's just a Django image. So it's just a Django image here of how of Django the project structure. We have views, templates, forms, projects, and then models. So I just need someone to help me with how now I can see it here. So let me do this. Yeah, so I just need to see the image above this lorem here, the first paragraph here. So let me see. So index.html. So it's here. So let me just start mentioning. I've seen Cynthia somewhere. So hello Cynthia. Hello Cynthia.
Hi, Sasa.
Say
Hi.
I'm good. Hope you're okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
the only problem is I wasn't in for the morning one.
Oh, okay. But then you can still say
Mhm.
something. Just say anything. What do you think? What do you think we should do? Just say anything at least. Because we know we are supposed to insert an image. So because it's an image, what do you think we should do there? Just say anything.
You should insert it.
So yeah, we should insert it. So what do you think? Which tag do you think you should use?
Image.
Image.
Then
Okay. So
yeah.
now what I want to do. Okay. Let me turn off my copilot for the day today. Let me disable completions. I'll enable it later. So now what image do you think I should use? So is it the image in full image or which image tag? Which image? I just need the spellings.
Okay. IMG.
IMG, yes. Now continue. I can see you're there. Eh? Now continue.
Um, that's all.
Okay.
I'm really pulling blanks. I don't know.
Okay, thank you. Okay, just mention somewhere there. Just mention someone who is present, and then he or she will continue.
Okay, just a sec. Um, I see Dennis.
Okay, Dennis. Hello, Dennis. Yes.
Or,
Okay, I don't know his
or
name.
Lillian.
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 Hello. Yeah, Lillian. Actually, Lillian. Lillian. Hello, Lillian.
Why, Lilian?
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah, I wanted Lillian. I have a story with Lillian. So, Lillian.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So now
The-
help us with how
yeah.
we can now insert this image here. So you can see Cynthia has started with the image. Now continue with the rest. So image what?
We want to know the source.
Yeah. So I should now write source.
Yeah, in short form, I think it is SRC.
Okay, then I've pressed enter. I've already put the is equals for you. Now I've already said is equals. So now what should I start with here? Because now remember the image is can you see now, can you see my VS properly here, or should I maximize it?
No, I can see it.
Okay, now what I want to do, we want to access this image inside this images directory here. So how should I put that source there? So now help me with that.
The path to the image,
Yeah.
the path forward slash. Okay,
First,
like you're supposed to open that, the folder. Is it the folder or the file? The folder.
yeah, the folder, it depends with how you want to say it. The folder, yeah.
Okay, now it's the path
Mm-hmm.
forward slash
Mm-hmm.
image. Okay, it's supposed to highlight from these images.
Yeah, but then it's not. I've already put the forward slash, so it's there. But then I can't stay see. Yeah, I still can't see it. So what do you think I'm missing there?
path.
Yeah, there's something small, something really small, which if I put that something small here, I'm going to see now the path. So the same way I've put forward slash, now I can see introduction and readme. Now there's something small I'm supposed to put so that now I'll see images here. So what do you think?
Junk, Jungle. Okay,
Mm.
can't call. Like it's supposed.
Could it be a dot?
Yeah, who said that? Is this
Good, good.
who's that?
Cynthia.
Hey Cynthia, yeah, it's actually a dot. So if you put the dot first of all, the dot usually says from the current directory. So we need to move out from the directory in which we are in right now, which is now introduction, and then go to another directory called images. So now it's a dot, but then it's still not done. So now continue, because I still can't see it. I can only see the files inside here. So now continue. So is it only one dot? Don't leave me
Lillian.
on red. Just, yeah, is it only one dot,
Lillian.
or okay, if I just say one, I still can't see anything. Lillian, you're still here. Lillian, you're still with you too. You're still with you. So don't leave us here. So add on this one here so that we can add that image quickly. So because at the moment, if you come here, if you come in our browser here, in our LF server, we can only see this small thing here, which is representing we are trying to insert an image, but then it can't see the image because of the path. Now finish up on that path there. So what do you think if I add another dot? Should I add another dot?
Maybe you can add to see there's a change.
Okay, and then
No,
so
no
there's no change
change.
still. So because if I remove both of them and I just put this, let me do this, and I just put that, you'll only see one thing here, introduction. You'll only see the folder introduction. If I put that, you can only see only 3 files. So now, what if I put that
Images.
and then I say django.php?
Yeah, that one will work.
So you guys were actually correct, but then the only thing, you are not believing in yourself. I usually tell you, believe in yourself more than you believe in me.
I
So
was
you are
not in class.
still you're supposed to still study, because we are going to do all of this. So you're supposed to still study, because if you study in advance, when now people are doing this in class, you'll already know what's going on. So now don't forget to close it too. So to close it, you don't have to use this backspace I've told you. I just like choosing that because to show people it's a self-closing tag. So you don't have to use that. You can just leave it like that and it's still going to put itself properly. So now you can see here is the image that we've added. You can also add another image. You can also add another image if you wanted here. Yeah, we can also just add another image if you wanted. So now let me first of all copy another image. Let me see. I don't know if I have another image there inside here. Let's see. Yeah, so let me just use this, but this one is really big. Okay, let us use this because it's big, and then we'll know how to resize it. So Control C. Where is it? This is the desktop. Inside desktop, we want something called web development. I can't see it here. Let me just go inside here. So it's here inside, and then now inside the images, yeah, and then just paste it here. So yeah, so now if we go here, so now if we come back here, now there are 2 images. So because I've already inserted the first one, I won't tell anyone to help us insert this one here. I'll just insert it, but then somebody will try and help us with resizing this image, because I already know it's going to be big. It's going to be big because it's a screenshot of this whole screen here. So image, so we want to add a source is equals to it's source is equals to, now we want to move out of the current directory. So this dot here says move out of the current directory. So now to another directory called images, and then inside images we want a file called sql.png, and then close that. So now, so let's go down here. So now as you can see, it's really big, as I've told you. So just look at it. Wow, 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 it's really big. We don't want this, it's really big. We just want it to be small. So now let me see who's going to help us with that. Let me resize, let me just do it this way, and then somebody is going to help us with how. Oh, we didn't finish this image tag, sorry. We also need to put an alt. So the alt is usually just used in situations when maybe now somebody is going to load our website in a place where now the internet connection is bad. So in case the image doesn't load, what should the person see? So that's what the alt does. So the alt is equals to, we can say this was a Django website, Django website lookup. Let me just say lookup here. So now let me first of all let me alter this a bit so that we can be able to, let me remove this first of all. So if I remove that, you can see, so every time you come here, let me maximize. So if the image doesn't show, this is what you'll be seeing, this one here. So you can see here, this is a Django website lookup. So in case the image doesn't work or doesn't show, this is what the user should see. So make sure you never forget about the alt, because sometimes, as you usually know, the internet can be slow. So that's why. So let me just return the image back so you can see what this dot does. So I had only just removed that dot which says from the current go out this directory. So without that it can't work. So that's that. So now somebody should help us with making this other now picture to this image to be smaller. So what do you think we'll use? Let me see. We are here to learn, all of us. So let me use who? KD. Okay, hello KD. Hello KD. Okay, I'll assume it's the internet connection maybe. So let me go with the internet connection. So I think who has not said something here? Let me go with Dennis. So hello Dennis. Hello Dennis. Hello. Okay, I don't know why Dennis is not saying anything. I think it's the internet connection too. Let me go with Neon. I think Neon has not said anything today. So hello Neon.
Hi.
So hope you're okay. So welcome.
Yes.
So now we need your help with now, as you can see. So we have added two images here. So the image number one was this Django here image. So now we'll just leave it to where it is. So now the only problem we're having is with this other image here, with this second one here. It's really big. So we need to resize it a bit so that it can be small. But then we don't want any content to change here. So the same way it's big here, so we want to just resize it, but then the content should remain. So what do you think we should use so that we can be able to do that? So what do you think we should use? So with this image, yeah. Yeah, so I'm waiting. Let me write this alt while you're telling us. So this was just an SQL image, homepage image. Yeah. I don't know why my screen so yeah, so I'm done with that. So now Neon, so what do you think? What do you think is we can use to do that?
Maybe the width and the height to customize it.
Yeah, you're actually right. You are you are very, very right. Yeah, so now, okay, so what should we start with? So now, before we continue, so let me ask you something small. So this long side here, what do you think this one long side here is called? This long side here.
The width.
the width, and then the other one is the height, right? So now
Yeah.
let us start with that. So let us start with, so yeah, because you're the one who's helping us with this one, so you're the one who is going to give me the height, we'll give it. So let us start with the height. Should we just give it here, or so I should just write it here, right?
Yeah, you can.
Okay, so let me first of all write, so should I start with the height or width? Which is which?
The width.
Okay, so width, so I should give the width of,
Let's try 250 pixels. I don't know if it's going to work.
okay, 250 pixel. Let me see. So let us see. So with 250 pixel, let us see how it looks like. So this is how it looks like here. Let me just give it a break so that you can see it better. I think it won't look better here. So let me just give it,
Maybe 500. Oh, you want a bigger width?
no, I just want to separate them so that we can be able to see them better. So yeah, so now, so okay, it looks big, it looks good, but then I think it's just small. So let us add it. So I think you have said 500. Let me give it 500. So 500 pixel. So with 500 pixel, this is how it looks like. So you can see it's not so bad, it still looks okay. So now we want to make it to be okay. Let me just reduce it to be at least for 70 there. I think it should look so bad. Yeah, for 70 it's not so bad. Now we want to also play with the height itself. So with the height, because we've already helped us, so what do you think I should give it the height of? Let's say anything. I think
What about 200 then?
400 pixel. Okay, let me say 400 pixel. So with 400 pixel, this is how it looks like. So as you can see, it has been stretched. So it's now starting to lose its appearance. So we can add maybe even 300. So it doesn't look that bad. So I think all of us right now. So thank you, Neon, for that. So I think all of us now,
Welcome.
I think all of us now just know how to now add an image, how to resize it so that it can look more better. So that's just how to add an image and resize it. So most of the times, maybe the images you're going to be adding are just going to be small or big. So you can just play around with the width and height, and then you'll get the output you want. So that's that. So now there's also another tag called, so now there's also another tag used to create tables. So
Could you minimize your file explorer, like on the left side?
okay,
So
this one.
that's
Okay.
no, this other side on your VS Code.
Yeah, okay. So you're saying I should maximize it or minimize it?
You minimize this left side so that we see more of the code.
Oh, okay, like that.
Okay, well, sawa, but I meant just hii part yenye inaonyesha your file content.
Oh, okay. I've understood
Yeah.
you. Okay, let me. So it's like you're saying I should. I don't know if I'm getting you. Is this what you mean?
No, you see on the left panel at the top, hizo file mbili ziko hapo juu. On the left.
On the left, yeah, on the
At the
left.
top.
Yeah, this
At
one's
the
here.
top.
This one here.
At the top.
On the top. This one is the top
the
here.
file. No, on your on the left, top left, there's a file icon. There's like two files. These are the extensions.
Oh yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. But then I think this is the top. I can't scroll further away. So maybe I don't know. This one is the last one here. I can't scroll again
Do you see
here.
the icon? Do you see the icon for VS Code? Yo,
Yeah,
finya yo.
this one here.
No, the next, that one.
So you're saying okay.
Yeah, like that.
Okay, I've understood you. Okay.
Yeah.
So we should have just said I should hide these icons here, but then okay. Still thank you for that. So this is it here. So now I don't think we're going to do this ones here because I think we already have a hang out of this one here. So first of all, I want us now to know how to link now CSS using now to HTML, because we can do inline styling. So maybe for example we want to style heading 1. So with inline styling, so we have said HTML just gives the structure of the website itself. Now there's something called CSS. So CSS just basically is used to style. So maybe you want your heading to have a blue color. So how you'll be able to do that? You'll use CSS to be able to do that. Maybe you want your image to maybe be on the left. How will you be able to do that? You'll be able to do that using CSS. So you can also be able to do that using HTML, I think. Yeah, but then yeah, let me confirm if it can work on an image. So align is equals to left. Let me see. Okay, no, align is equals to right. So let me see if it's going to work. Yeah, I don't think it will work. So it's just going to pop up an error. Just leave it. So we just do it using CSS, but then you can also do that. So now let us now see how to do some styling. So with also CSS, you can just use W3 Schools, Mozilla, or FreeCodeCamp. There are also other sites you can do this. I'm not saying they're just limited to this. You can also even use Geeks for Geeks. So Geeks for Geeks also has a web development thing. You can also use front-end mentors. So, but then with front-end mentors, that's where you just go to learn skills. But then with these three here, and also Geeks for Geeks, you can learn more on this ones here. So you're the one who's going to choose the site you want to learn this from. So now let's start with inline styling. So with inline styling, let us maybe say we want to apply to make our heading to have a blue color. So how will you be able to do that? So to do inline styling, you first of all say style. So and then you give the style you want. So the style we want is for color, and then we want the color of, you can say we want the color of maybe blue. So let's say blue. So color, oh, where is it? Not like that. So color is equals to blue. Make sure you terminate that also. So and also, okay, let me do this. Sorry about that. So style color, okay, how am I? Color is equals to blue. I think it's a full colon. It's not is equals to, yeah, that's what I was forgetting. Okay, so with CSS here, this is what you do. Oh, it's been a while since I used inline styling here, so sorry about that. So with inline styling here, what you do every time you want to pass a style, first of all you start with the style. So this one style here, you can say this style declaration is the one that enables us to use inline styling. So and then you type the style you want. So in our case, we just wanted a color of blue. So we can also maybe say we want to add it font size. So to add the font size, just come here. So first, make sure you terminate it. Without termination, it won't work. So let me remove that. Will it work really? I don't know. Okay, I think when they are main is when they won't work. But then make sure you always terminate. Don't forget about the termination. So we want a color blue. We also want the font size. We also want the font size to be added to be maybe, let's say, 34 pixel, to be bigger, yeah. And then I've terminated that too. Yeah, so we want it to be of 34 pixel, yeah. So why is it not changing? Okay, don't know why it's not changing. Maybe I've missed out something there. But then that's with inline styling, just usually just use this style here. Okay, let me also refresh on inline styling. I've forgotten. I think I'm missing something there. Okay, so with that one there, you don't have to sign up. So we just come here and then just start lining here. So yeah, I prefer using this ones here. So with inline styling is a lot of work, but then we'll just see that in a minute. So how to link that? I don't want that. I wanted the inline styling. Maybe. So let's see. I don't. W3 Skills. I think W3 Skills has that. So font, yeah. So yeah, font family. No, I just wanted font size. Okay, I can't see font size here. So this one is a font family. The different types of fonts. So that one is color, background color. I don't want the background color. Okay, text align, first, center, justify. Okay, we'll just come, in case you want to know all of that, all about these ones here, just come here and just read up all about CSS. You'll see all of this, how to float an image, how to plot layouts, everything. And then the good thing with W3 skills usually shows you here. So if in case you want to make an image to be on the right, so what you style, usually use the float, the float here. So you're able to do that, usually use float. So you can make the image to float on the right or on the left. You can also use a display property. You can also just make it to be none. So with none, so with no float, this is how it's going to look like. With none, there's also none, an option of none. Yeah, I think you'll just come to look all of that here on W3 schools. There's also options of forms. Yeah, so in case you want your form to look with this border here, in case to have this placeholder, but then this placeholder is usually inputted using HTML, but then I think you can also install it using CSS, but then personally I usually just use HTML. This one here is just a label, but then you can also use a paragraph for those who want, but I think that's weird. Just usually just use the labels. Yeah, we'll come and learn all about this here. So yeah, so I think that's that. So first of all, let us just do what we are used to. So let us link our HTML. Okay, that is inline styling. There's also styling using the inside head tags. So with inside head tags, all you just do, you come inside your head tags and then write scripts, styles. I think I'll have to be doing this frequently. So you just come write styles here, and then inside these style tags is when you can do your styling here. So now let me show you the disadvantages of the only disadvantages of doing this inside your HTML document here. People say it's going to make your work ugly and maintenance is going to be hard. So just imagine you've been given a work of somebody. So maybe somebody coded his website and then he put here his CSS inside HTML file. So now you're the one who is maintaining that. Imagine it's going to be very hard navigating through all of this website using this CSS here. So that's why you usually use other files somewhere else, another external CSS, so that you can be able to, so you can make maintenance easier. So to maintain, okay, let me show you one style CSS here. So with this one here, so let's say maybe now we want to put our heading, our H1 heading, to have a left align, so that a right align, so that instead of it being here at the left side, now it be on the right side. What we will do, we just first of all pick it like that. So we are saying we want to style H1, so that's how you pick it, and then open these braces here and then press enter, and then I'll give the style you want. So in our case, maybe we want it to have aligned, to be aligned, so the text to be aligned. So the text to be aligned, so text to be aligned, so text to be aligned, text aligned to be on the, yeah, so text aligned to be on the, where is this, where is it doing this? So H1, so text align, we can say maybe right, terminate it, let's see, text align to be on the right. I feel I'm still missing something here. I don't know why I'm missing this today. Let me just link it. It's been a while since I used this, so you'll just forgive me there guys. So let me just link this. Let me just link this quickly, and then we'll just use it from the style sheet, and then rel, and then href is equals to, so we want to move out the current directory to a directory called, oh, we didn't give it inside another directory, it's just here inside. So this is the file we want, index.css. So now let us come inside our, make sure you close this one too. Yeah, so now come inside. I had not opened it, let me just open it quickly inside css. Yeah, so it's here. So now we want to style maybe which we want to style heading 1. So give it there, still open this, and then open it here inside. No, we want it to be text align to be center. Okay, no, text, so text align to be on the center. So now you can see it's on the center here. What we wanted it to be on the right. So if you said we want it to be on the right, it's on the right here. But I feel still, this is the styling I had given it, but I still feel like it's supposed to work still here inside this script tags here. So I don't know why it was not working. Let me redo it again. I just want to show you that it's supposed to work. So style, I think it's supposed to be style, not styles. Let me see. So let me style heading 2. So heading 2, let me also give it a text align, or to be on the let's say on the center. Let's see. Yeah, it's not supposed to be style, it's supposed to be style. That's what I was missing. Yeah, I know it's supposed to work. So the same concept, still the same concept. You have to pick it, and then after picking it, yes, all the styling should be inside these braces here, and all the styles should be terminated. If you forget to terminate it, it won't work. Let me remove that. So okay, at the moment I don't know why it's working, but no, it's not supposed to work. So you'll do this. If you get used to this, then in production you're really going to get you're going to face it to get something an error. Just know it's not supposed to work. I don't know why it's not working. I guess it's because Visual Studio Code usually helps itself. But then in case you're using Notepad, I don't know, I think it's not going to work. You can also do this using Notepad. In case you want to know the syntax very well, you can just do it using Notepad, and then you'll see. With Notepad, even if you miss just a single termination, it won't work. But with VS Code, it's working. I don't know why, don't ask me why, and I'm saying it won't work. Personally, I always terminate. So let's give it also maybe some color. Let's give it a color of maybe brown, and then terminate that. It has changed color. So so as I've told you, the reason to why we don't do this is because it will make our work to our HTML code maintainability hard, and following up also is going to be hard. Plus it's not a good practice. A lot of web developers or people who do web development, you'll see them usually having separate files. So make sure you use your own separate file, your CSS file, to be different. Don't do it here. And unless it's just something really small. So I'll just remove this. So as to terminate all of that, to comment it out, as remember, for those who joined the session, the Python session we had, you just highlight all of it and then control backspace, this backslash here, and then everything is going to be terminated really easily. So I've terminated this, and you can see the heading 2 has returned to its original position and is still having its default color to be 2. So now let's say maybe now you want the whole body to use a different font. What will you do? So to style the whole website, it said the whole web page, it's a web page. While it's like this, it's usually called a web page. So many web pages are usually combined to be a website. So this web page here, in case we want this whole web page to be using a singular font family, let's for example Times New Roman, we can be able to do that easily inside our CSS file. Oh, what is it? Yeah, it's here. So to be able to do that, usually just use this. Usually use an asterisk. Where is it? Yeah, an asterisk, and then everything should be inside braces. So a lot of people usually most of the times, usually if you're a person usually goes to people's GitHub and look at those codes, then people usually like resetting the margin and the padding, but then you don't have to do that. The one you just choose what you want. So in case I put my margin to be 0, let's see what is going to be, what changes this is going to do. So in case I put the margin to be 0, you can see now how it looks like. So you can see, so by that now you understand that margin is the space between the element and its surrounding things. You can just say surrounding things. That's why, because I've set the margin to be 0, you can see now everything is near each other. So if you remove that margin, you can see the elements are going to be occupy a space between around each other. So you can see the heading 1, it has a space from the top, and in heading 2 it has a step from space on the bottom, and it also has a space at the top. Heading 3, the same thing. The paragraph, same thing. So in case you want the margin to be resetted every time, make sure you just put margin to be 0. In our case, I don't think it's really important to do that, but then you can just do that still. Okay, I don't think we should do that. The only thing I wanted here is the font family. So font family, let me just use, I usually like using Times New Roman. Let me just press enter, and you can see now it has been, yeah. So now, oh no, yeah, this one is the one, the family here. So font family specifies, so I don't think it still has changed that much. Let me remove this. Yeah, so that's the type of font I wanted, but still looks weird. It's supposed to be like in a box way here. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing. Okay, it's doing that. This is it's because it's a string. So because it's a string, I'm supposed to put it inside this termination, this thing here. So I don't know why it's not showing me like that. Let me just put it the default, like how it usually comes. But that's how you add a font family in case you want a certain type of font. You can also import it in case you want. My keyboard is misbehaving today. Actually, just like using Times New Roman. So you can choose the type you want. It's not compulsory to choose this one here. So now we can continue with our styling here. So now, for example, we want to place this image at the left here. Oh, we have not touched about image URLs. Yeah, so now let me first remove this dummy content, and let us try adding some few contents here, so that at least, because you can see I wanted us to use only one now, but time really flies. So now let us come here from our body. So let me add a new H1. I know it's still going to have its default color, so let me just do that, and then I'll show you what I want us to do. So now let's say welcome to our blog. Yeah, to our blog. So now if I do this one, so if I do this, you can see, if I go back here, you can see it still looks like it still has an alignment to the left. Is it left? Yeah, to the right. Now we don't want that. We just want it to have an alignment, the default alignment. So with this with HTML, if you want to give the same element a different styling, what you do, you can use an inline styling, or you can use something called a class. So with a class, it enables us to style our element in a different way, even if it has the same name to another element. So in our case, let's give this one here like a class of, let's give it a class of, let's say something like first heading. So now if we come to our CSS here, so where's that CSS file? So if we come to our CSS here, and then give that file, so dot. So to access it, you first of all use a dot, and then I'll continue. So we'd say the first heading, and then now make sure you don't forget about that. So in our first heading, we want the text align to be on the center. Okay, let's just give it center. So you can see it's on the center, but then despite the heading 1 still being a heading 1, it's still aligned on the right. So that's what you usually do. So now press enter. So now let us add some few URLs there. So to add to add some URLs here, there are different ways to do this. You'll see some people just using paragraph tags. You'll see some people using listed items. So it depends on how you want them. But then the most important things there is just to use the a tag. So the a tag is the one that is usually used to make the URLs themselves. So let's create ours using the UL tags. So UL tags, and then let us list our files. So the first file will be home. Let us say home. So the UL tags usually comes with this like full stop here. So home, let's give it another one. Let's call out about. Let's call another one. Let us call also it home about. Let me say contact details. Yeah. So now we have not talked about header tags. There's also another element called header. So when you come to your website, when you go to most websites, most of the times you are going to see this in Mozilla here. If you come here in MDN web docs in developer in Mozilla here, when you come here, the header has a button and this header content here. So in our case here, we don't have that. And also if you go there, if you come down completely, you're also going to see this one is called the footer. So most of the pages, every page usually has a footer and a header. So the header is usually the top first thing a user will see to navigate in around our website. So to be able to do that, usually use an element called header. So header, this one an element. Let us also add the footer. So now footer, yeah. So our footer let it to be software engineers in progress. Let me just write that. So and copy. Let me just write that with and copy software engineers in progress. Yeah. Software engineers in progress. So now if I come back here, so I want you guys, you'll see something here in a minute. So where is it? Where's that header? Where's that footer? So now you can see where the footer is at the moment. It's down below here. So let me remove this a bit. So if I remove that, where is it? Where is that? It's still here. So it's really good today. Most of the times you'll see it here. So in case you are doing this and you don't have any other content here, you'll see it near your heading. So don't think that anything is wrong. It's just down here because we have some contents here. But then by default the footer doesn't work unless you put some styling there. So don't forget about that. Also on the header, let us add something. We are going to style this just in a minute. I don't think we can add another we can add a class to the footer because we are not going to have another footer. So inside the head tag, let us just call this, let us give it just call it blog, website blog. Let me just call it that, website blog. Yeah, so now if I do that, so go at the top, so you can see it's at the top here. You can see website blog, but then it still looks bad because look at this for Mozilla here, how it looks. At least it has a background color, it has a button, so at least it looks better compared to the other one there. So you'll be like, oh, what's wrong there? So you're supposed to use CSS so that you can be able to do this. So now to do that, let's just go to our styling. So this is just an introduction, guys. So I'm showing you what you can do, but in case you want to do it in depth, you can just do that. I think I've closed that. Let me open it again. So yeah, this one here. So header. So as our friend Cynthia was telling us, so every time you want to add, so in this one here, in this header here, this one here, this one, you can see this column, so it's a height. So if you want to give a height, you usually just use height. So we want it, so want to give it a height of 100, not 100 pixel is too much. Let me give it something like 60 pixel. Terminate that. So at the moment, if you come back here, you won't see any difference. Even though our heading, our welcome to our blog has moved down, you still can't see anything different here, unless you give it a background color. So let us give it a background color. Let's give it a background color of, let's say, let me just give it brown at the moment. I think we'll change it later. So now if you give it background color of brown, you can see how it looks like, but then it still looks bad because you can see at the left there's some spacing, at the right also there's some spacing, at the top there's also some spacing. So I've told you this spacing is usually called the margin. So if you want to reset this, you can just say margin, you can give it a margin of 0. Okay, no, in case you want to reset at the top, that's why. So instead of doing that, let me just reset the whole margin, so that we'll just be putting our margin. So to give it a margin of 0, I think giving it a margin of 0 would be better instead of putting all this here. But then that also has its own advantages and disadvantages. So if you give it a margin of 0, the whole body to have a margin of 0, make sure you always give these other ones also some different margins here, because you can see now they are near each other. I think everybody there, it's okay. So let us give it a margin top, so margin bottom. So margin bottom, let's give it 10 pixel, so that this welcome to our blog is going to go down a bit. So you can see, so give it a margin bottom of 10, so it's down a bit now. So now let us also say in our inside there, so inside that, so the text, so we should give it a color of white. Say that. So yeah, you can see, so text transform, you can also transform that to be to be uppercase. Yeah, so now we can also maybe add a font size a bit to be at least bigger. So you can also say, in case you want it to be bold, there's just, okay, you can give it font style to be bold, but then personally I usually just like it to style it from there. So let's say bold maybe. So in case you want it to be bold, you can add it blog from here, but then I don't like this one here. So you can just do this from the HTML part. So HTML has a tag you can use to get that. So in case you want it to be that way, you can use just B. Okay, most people, you'll see most people using another element for this. So in case maybe a H1, a H2, or a H3, it depends on what you want. Everybody has his own development style. So now want it to be at least down below. So this one are just CSS. I'm sure maybe some of you have not seen this, but in case you want to see most of this, just come to W Skill Schools, Free Code Camp, or Mozilla, and you'll be able to see all of that. So now let's say maybe we want to make it to be down a bit. So we can say maybe we can give it a display a display property of flex. I usually like using flex. So okay, I don't want to align it, so let me say, so you want to justify content, but then want to say center a bit. So if you center it a bit, you can see where it is right now. And then also you want to align items at the center. Let me just use this, so you can see now, but then this is not what you wanted. So let me use this, let me just say items. I think this one is going to be better. So if I justify items to be at the center and align them at the center, this is how it's going to be like. So it is moved from the top, and then it's going to be at the center. It's going to be center aligned. So now in case you want it to go in front a bit, you can also give a margin. This one is a margin left. No, if I give it a margin left, it's going to give the margin of the whole body. So maybe no, I won't do that. Yeah, let me just leave it there at the moment. So let me remove this image and place it maybe now here, or let us add another image and place it here. So let us go back. First of all, let us tell the footer too. So footer, so as we've seen, to make it, to have to give it a height, let us just give it 60. I should like the 60 height. Let us give it a background color. Okay, let me just do that, but then I will change the background color. Let me use let me just use what for Django. Let me just use Django. The Django is full of, I think this one is brown. No, this one is green. Let me use green for the color. Terminate that. So if we come at the footer still, you'll see it has changed. Yeah, so there's still some, so at least it looks better now. Yeah, so you can give the color of the text inside. So now to give the color of the text, you have said you use the color property, so that's white. So font size also, you can add the font size. I think let it be something like 20 pixel too. So let align the text at the center. So first of all, okay, display flex, but I don't know, then let's just give it text align at center. And then now, so display flex, I think I've talked too much today. I've not given time people to talk. And then justify content at the center, and then now align items at the center too. So let me remove this one here because I've aligned this one using the justify content. So I'm going to share something that you'll use to understand this display flex, align items, space. I'm just going to share something after we are done here. Let me add the font size. So I think the font size has been added. Yeah, I think that one is better. So let me first of all, let me see if we're still together here. So first of all, guys, I know I've talked too much. I don't know if I'm making sense of I've just talked. Cynthia, tell me something.
I'm following.
Yeah, so so have you understood what we have talked about at least? Is the
Yeah.
introduction today okay, or it's a little bit too in depth? Okay, because I feel like I've talked too much. Yeah. What do you?
Stella, well, I see Stella is talking. Chani watch
Okay, okay, Stella, say something.
I don't have much, but your introduction. Yeah.
Okay, I think okay, I think today we have talked too much. Okay, I should not have introduced to this styling things here, but then I just wanted to do this because we are really going to use this concept with Django templating, because I know we have not talked about Django templating and we're supposed to do that. So we don't have time, guys. So everybody should just go through this to get quickly. Don't expect the mentors to go through this too. No, you should just make time and understand this. Read on W3 Schools free code camp, and you're just going to get these concepts really well. Yeah, I think personally I feel like I've talked too much. Yeah, so let's see. I think the previous research. Yeah, Harry Potter. Yeah, Harry Potter. That means will be affected with the behavior. Yeah, that's true. Okay, yes, Stella.
So I was asking, how soon will we get the recording?
Okay, okay, okay. I don't think I'll edit it. I can just send it before even the night ends.
Because I'm just about to start translating. I'm not joking.
No, no. Don't worry. I think we are just. I think we are just done, because personally I've
Yes,
just given an introduction. So I think this one is really okay. I've gone a little in depth on the styling of the header, on the footer, how to link, how to deal with display flexes, justify content, how to inline, how to style in a different page. But I think all of that is justified because we need all of that, because I joined the session in the morning, and even the guy, I didn't capture his name, but I'm sure the mentor talked about all of this. But just the header, all this styling, he didn't talk about them, but he talked about CSS files, how to do that. I wanted us to also talk about JavaScript a bit, but then I don't think we'll be able to do that because for an introduction class, I don't think this one is justified. But then we'll also do JavaScript. But then for the moment, I think I should just stop the recording from here. Let me just stop it here. So that's it, guys. I won't do anything else on this. So because this was just an introduction, let me stop.